Okay, the Sejuani would be interesting. We saw the Sejuani yesterday, but there are a lot of big meta picks still on the board right now. Cryin will pick up the Ahri here. I do wonder what the double lock-in will be with K'Sante on the table. Do you just pick it now, or do you try to get some jungle priority? Okay, it's the Aphelios, actually.
There's actually so many open picks that makes it hard, right? Because with both Jinx and Aphelios, Vi and Wukong, Ahri and Annie, K'Sante, that's 4 roles. You have 3 slots. Really surprised neither team's gone for it so far. I guess neither top laner really being known for, right? Especially YSKM and how long it took him to even start trying to pick up that champion. Invincible always been a bit more of a carry threat. There it is. Jinx whoa.
I gotta calm myself down. I just got really excited for Jinx. I gotta feel like Jinx is still in the plethora of picks that we've seen for so long. But this is something to be excited about, and something we actually saw banned out last game. It was the Rakan. I wonder if they do want to lock it in. They do.
And again, it's just so strange to me. You have Annie there up against the Ahri, sets up well for your jungle. They don't go for it. K'Sante making its way through still.
It's still not going to be picked.
You would expect the Wukong to go here now, but if they do run the Yuumi, I mean, we've pretty much only been seeing the Yuumi with the Zeri. This would be a little bit unconventional. I feel like I haven't
seen the Yuumi and Aphelios in a long time. Yeah,
a long time, right? But with how draft is gone, we have to be on our toes. Because now we're going to see...
I'm on my toes, Lyric.
For IG, I think here, I mean, you take away the Annie, that would be something that jumps out to me right away in terms of mid-jungle, really allowing access for those picks. NIP, like, logically would be the K'Sante, but against YSKM, it seems like they're just saying, hey, we still don't believe that this guy really can or will play this champion. So for now, just going to keep making its way through.
The Gwyn ban is there, though. Definitely don't want to give over a potential of that snowball coming alive this time for a second try. But IG's whittling bans here. The last one of the second game for them. Trying to find a leg back into this series. The K'Sante ban will be there.
Yeah, so they take it away. Good pick by them. If they're not going to be the ones who are willing to pick it up, just get it off the board right now. And now the other thing I'm kind of looking at is, do you just take away the Wukong here as ninjas? Make sure that one doesn't go down. We know Nautilus can be flexed into the jungle role. We've already seen that one yesterday. We saw it in MSI.
We also saw the Rumble.
Now for IG. Again, just get more engaged in your comp, get more things to double down on that pick. With Tianzhen, I guess you could just try and opt into if he has a more comfortable pick. But with Rengar being off the table, I really feel like you're just kind of looking at the Wukong as what to go for. I don't know why they're taking so long and making us talk more, Mazel. We all know what they're going to do.
I mean, I guess you have a little bit of comfort for IG knowing that you were going to get this anyways, and you still have your counter pick. So, hey, YSKM going to have a little bit of love, a little bit of care, a little bit of comfort into this second game. Something they definitely need to have in that top side so other things don't go awry. Now, NIP on the pick. We'll see the Lissandra actually coming in here as a response to the Ahri.
Yeah, not going to get a little bit spicier with that Akali pick coming through. Still gives them some nice lockdown for themselves. And then this would just give them a ton of damage. I also always love the setup, right, of like when you bring in something like the quickness to set up for the Slicing Maelstrom, because like it gives Kennen just so much time to be able to get in there and get damage on the key targets that it needs. And now it's going to open up YSKM to try to find an answer. Don't think a lot of great things in the Kennen unless you're willing to push deeper down into your pool.
Let's
and we know this is something YSKM likes to play.
It absolutely is, and especially the way that you can kind of just down smash your lane as you get to a point, but also just become such a big threat in the later parts. Not something we've seen so far come out this split, but I'm very excited to get to see this composition because I think IG have adapted a tiny bit from that first game. NIP, they're sticking to a very tried and true comp style, just like they did last game. Got a lot of team fight potential, but it's also about that roaming priority between Shadow and Angel and Zhuo.
Yeah, lots going to come down to mid-jungle support for the side of NIP. Looks
like this gaming side have some structure to your early game as we hit the rift.
You know? Okay, there we go. I was like, where's the Giants?
They're a little bit delayed. They come all the same. Just as fate.
And again, doesn't matter where you're at in the standings. all LPL teams actually have a significant amount of fans, which is what you'd expect with China's large population. But it's always nice to be like, oh, you know, whoever it is playing, whether it's anyone's Legend or Ultra Prime or these like newer orgs, even they have tons of Gyos.
Yeah, it's always really nice. Makes me want to go to the stadium so bad every time I hear it, just to hear the crowd cheer. But at least I can hear it in my ears. It's like I'm there. I'm so close. So closely.
I always wanted to go when V5 was playing and lead the Gyos.
Ooh.
Sadly, never got an opportunity. That could have been me. I could have been the V5 flag bearer. As you know, NIP, at least carrying the spirit of V5.
True. And as we get into this one, I know we were talking about compositions a little bit earlier. We definitely highlighted on NIP's style of winning, very copy-paste kind of from last game, but with different picks at least, and some things let through. But IG themselves trying to pick apart a bit of a different composition and go away from that Gwen that was banned away, look towards this bot lane maybe as Wink getting traded on very heavily. Gonna have to burn that early flash, and it's definitely not what you want to see.
No, especially when, to hone in on what you're saying, I feel like IG and how they want to play out this early game is a bit of, you know, again, a bit of the opposite of how NIP want to play it out. You're relying on your strong top side, trying to make sure that NIP don't bring multiple members up, you know, get prio mid. You have Angel and Shadow lurking, Cryin, you know, is a little bit behind on the roam. It's like, protect Aurelia, you know, once you get level 3 and forward, you'll be able to start actively trading with this Kennen and trying to win out. Bot lane is more of your insurance policy. Let them be safe. The fact that they're losing 2v2 on their own is a bit worrying.
I'm watching the sweat droplets from Tianzhen. Does he get a little bit scared about what's happening in bot lane? He's like, oh, do I need to pat down there? It looks like that'll be the case right now. No love going to this top lane where YSKM's actually getting pushed in pretty heavily as Shadow has tried to go for an aggressive play. Something we've seen from Shadow a lot in his past. Going for an invade, maybe a wrap around to try to get bot lane from IG. My goodness, what a momentum play from NIP as they go for it. On is going to flash away, and now it's a 3v3 with the tower to help, making a 4v3 in favor of IG because that tower does not help them at all, but they still get the first blood. And now Shadow, they've been up way more than they can chew. Tianzhen will not even go down. In NIP, their play-ins in catastrophe.
NIP, we're hoping that they can time
my
that.
God,
no! Okay,
No!
okay. Photic getting one back is actually quite nice because now he has that red buff. So we'll be able to come back to lane and start trading pretty aggressively.
That's an all-star ADC right there. And Tianzhen, welcome to the league, my friend. This is really, really good stuff. Heads up play from Photic, trying to get something back for this bot lane that was playing so aggressively earlier.
And I'm a bit surprised that Shadow didn't read that Tianzhen should be making his way down. You know, they tried the timing IG and just hope they get those kills before he makes his way down, but he mirrored his path, right? Both of them doing that full clear on their red sides. Still, though, at least Shadow comes out from base, does manage to get this top side scuttle, and it looks like junglers for now are just going to keep finishing off their clears. So now the two plays you want to watch, right? Keep focusing on bot lane because of the shenanigans we're going to see right now. And then, of course, after this, we'll go back up to top side. But, again, just nice timing by Tianzhen. I think it was a little bit overzealous by NIP to hope that they can get this dive off before the jungle would be here, when after noticing that Wolves blue and everything was up, that Tianzhen would be coming down to the spot side. But Photic with a lot of swagger waiting out for this.
Let's look. He's like, oh, I see him over there. Oh, he sees him turn at the last second. Huge stuff. Oh, man. Gotta love me some Photic. Now we actually see Shadow spotted out on a ward from YSKM in this top side, where YSKM's getting a little bit more confident, a little bit more comfortable up there.
I mean, you just need levels under your belt, right? Again, especially once you have access to all three of your abilities, being able to find those all-ins.
This NIP train don't stop. Just visiting every lane, see how it goes. Shadow has now said hi to everybody on the side of IG. Just wanted to make sure acquaintances were done in game 2, make sure all the handshakes were done before he tries to get them into this game.
I mean, as the man who back when he played in Europe was known for his Lee Sin, right? Coming into LPL, he still has always kept up with the early game aggression.
Yeah.
It's been one of the pleasures of watching him.
It doesn't matter what side you're on either. He also gets that blue buff. And you got to play with confidence for that one. Luckily, Shadow's got enough confidence in his belt, and that will be a nice little invade. Actually, a ramp around from Tianzhen, trying to go visit bot lane while Shadow's looking mid.
Okay, so Cryin just got his up.
We'll try to get the Gravitum locked down, but actually Tianzhen going the long way around here. A wrap back here by Shadow.
They're going to look for these 1v1s, but his bot lane might get punished right now.
They're looking for it. Gravitum goes in. They got the lockdown here, and the damage comes onto Zhuo. He's just dead. Wink gets the kill with the ignite. Now Cryin caught in the crossfire here, trying to pull back to his bot lane a little bit. They do have the fruits, and Shadow has to get out with a Vault Breaker.
On having a lot of bursts in front of him, and also having the Gravitum there to make sure that he can lock them down. Also, Cryin started moving over first after NIP attempted that gank in mid but couldn't get it. So a lot of like small timings just slightly off for NIP, which is giving IG the onus to find these kills and start building a little bit of a lead.
And YSKM is just a sleeping dragon in the top lane, waiting to be unleashed. And so is Invincible to some extent. If you get those crucial backline flanks, it's going to be pretty nasty. And with that decisiveness we saw from NIP in game 1, I think that's right in the cards for them. But I do want to see how much priority we get on these dragons, Lyric, because I think NIP from the red side had a lot of vision control around the map early on. They kept that up. They tried to control a lot of these objectives, but does that really benefit either side in this one, as we've seen 2 minutes go by?
I'm not too concerned about dragons or Rift Heralds going over to sides. I think like when you have especially champions like Irelia in the game, it's just so much more important to like have your laning situation stabilized. And the fact that he's actually been losing out in a lot of these trades, I think, is pretty concerning. A big part of this matchup is honestly skill shots, right? Being able to connect your E as the Irelia to then look for that all in before you get chunked out. At the same time, being able to dodge out on those Qs that Invincible's constantly throwing out. From what we saw last time, he is eating every cannon Q and hasn't been able to connect with his stun just yet to be able to go in with that Q.
2 plates gonna help out Invincible up there too. Got a nice little 500 gold lead, at least for now. There is that Rift Herald coming up very shortly. You see a lot of vision being played around the Dragon Pit for IG, but it's also that pressure that's been regained from On and Wink, which I think is a sigh of relief at this point for IG when they were getting a lot of those kills that way. There's not that much pressure now coming from Shadow, who's putting all that focus back to where mid lane, where we put the spotlights on.
They're going to look for it. Ult is still there, but with Cryin having his as well, it could be really hard to lock down. Just too much mobility online. Just going to make sure that the Ahri doesn't move over. Eventually look for the opportunity to start this Rift Herald.
Oh, that ward just fell. But YSKM knows that something could be up. Shadow's been missing for too long. The Rift Herald's up here. Should just get one of those good old-fashioned trades.
I'm going to see what it looks for. It's now going to be spotted on Vision, so they're going to have information where he is if Shadow now just wants to try and start this one up, but it looks like maybe he's going to want to intercept him and stop them from trying to make a play on their bot lane.
You want fighting? We'll give you fighting. Oh, Shadow missed the Vault Breaker over there in the corner of your screen. We'll see them actually collapse over to this bot side. The back does come through for Cryin. The hover was there. Maybe he gets to stop it in time because here come NIP with the reinforcements.
If a fight happened right now, though, it would be in favor of IG because their bot lane now has ultimates online. Photic and Zhuo should be there in a second. Yep, Zhuo just hitting it, so minions going down. With mid laners backing, I wonder if NIP are even going to cop onto the fact that IG are just starting up this dragon. Doesn't look like it.
Wow, really good decision-making coming out from IG to try to scoop that one up. See if the Mega Death Rocket dodged out of by Tianzhen. I've seen too many of those. Too many. But with this dragon going down, that means all eyes towards this topside jungle and where this Rift Herald's going to lie. Another plate should go down to Invincible. And this top lane, at this point, it just feels like YSK wants to get out of lane. It's like, please get me out.
Yeah, just falling further and further behind, still only sitting on those components. I wouldn't even be surprised if Invincible on his reset has his Mythic rearing ready to go.
And we actually see Shadow starting up that Rift Herald, so there ends up being the trade of objectives, just not traded at the same time. And Angel hovering up towards this top side, want to try to punish YSKM, who's just been shoved under his tower consistently. They also bring up Shadow afterwards as maybe a cleanup crew. They're just going to bring all 5. Okay. They bring Photic back to mid lane, but it's a lot of members from NIP up here.
Yeah, he was probably backing off at first.
Okay, Invincible just says we go, and there's everything on the YSKM, but he's still alive. He's still kicking. Angel wants to try to finish him off as the tower goes down as well. Now you got the thrall, the double great entrance, and the flashes forward from NIP. That's a double kill for Angel. Mega Death Rock.
So
it's not enough. Cryin by the skin of his little teeth. And that should be another charge. Maybe the tower, the minions aren't going to be enough here. On has gotten a trade in the side lane, but NIP, they've broken open the dam in top lane.
Yeah, 2 kills for 1. They also get a turret themselves, so get a charge on the second. Now, I think the great thing is Photic at least going to get 1 plate, because now you have your gold kind of like spread across your team, which is quite nice for NIP. To where for IG, right, it's all being funneled into that Aphelios, just sitting down there, beating down on those plates in bot side. And it's going to open him up to be able to complete a Storm Razor first, even a BF sword. On top of that is here. Things looked a little bit disconnected as Invincible went in. Angel still wasn't here quite yet, so it leads it to being a 3v3 to start off with. So IG actually opened themselves up to finding 1 off of the Irelia ultimate, but luckily the Rakan gets here before the Nautilus. Angel buys time with that ultimate. Rakan locks him down. You get in range with the Kennen, and sadly, the Super Mega Death Rocket was so close to getting another one, but how much HP was that, right? That was like, must have been like 20? Say 27? I didn't see that. I don't know why I'm giving an arbitrary number, but I want so 27.
Yes, my detective. It was 27, exactly. I don't know what the number was. I got you, boo-boo. We did see the great...
the item disparity top lane real quick. I'm sorry, just look at that.
That's what I was getting. We've seen this actually happen a decent amount, and this was a confidence pick from IG, from YSKM, something he is known for as well, at least playing it a lot over his career. And man, it is going holistically in Invincible's favor. And this does not bode well for big team fights coming up. We saw what that Wombo combo can do when they're extending through towers. But once you start having to fight over these objectives, it gets a little bit more questionable.
2-item lead as well. Like, everything's going his way. I guess YSKM just leveled up, but you know what? Once he started struggling a little bit in that lane matchup, I'm surprised that IG didn't try more to alleviate pressure from that side of the map. Really just all inning again on at this point in time, being at least a component up over his counterpart. But I think they're in no position to take any fights. With Dragon coming up in a minute and a half, hell, Cryin might not even survive that long.
He snuck through. There's that frozen tomb, and the lockdown comes through. You cannot Spirit Rush. He even burns the flash. It's so upsetting. Spaghetti. His bot lane is in tatters. NIP are coming to work.
NIP getting more gold, denying more golden experience off the Ahri. This is going to mean they're going to cement their control over the bot side. They are going to have to go for resets now, which might open up Tianzhen to be able to try to clear up some of that vision, but Angel and Shadow are only going to come back from base even stronger, and Invincible even just hitting level 11, getting that level 2 point into his ultimate. Like, it feels like everything's just going right for NIP right now, going towards this next Drake. So I wonder if IG will even try to contest it and just hope that they can position and play well around the Aphelios, or if you just try and get some of your own camps back, try and get some more gold onto people like YSKM and wait it out. I guess it would only be NIP's first Dragon, so it actually wouldn't be the end of the world.
And it looks like actually IG are putting a lot of priority around there, but something I want to put priority on is, yes, we've talked a lot about this top lane. YSKM with the confidence pick not working out, but it's mid lane, man. Angel, now 2 games in a row, feeling like he's the pop-off king at this point, really showing Cryin who's boss. And sitting at 2-0 now also has that Everfrost. They have a lot of sustained lockdown that's possible if they catch the right member out. Speaking of catching him out, On trying to lock down Angel himself, but he has that stopwatch to stop that engage, and a Wink can't hit the dredge line. Now NIP look to be on the front foot because YSKM, I don't think he's gonna have an answer against Invincible, and Invincible can keep pressuring that tier 2 up there while a 4v4 forms around the Dragon Pit. Angel going in. He locks in Wink. He's just dead. It's an overextended fight from NIP. They didn't have the backup damage. Now Shadow flashing, Vault Breaker over the wall. He just dies to chickens, right? No, the shielding from Zhuo is huge. Invincible hitting that slicing Maelstrom at top lane. Who's going to get that solo? YSKM's stacking him up, but the Proto Belt makes the difference. Solos back and forth between Invincible and YSKM in this series. But it's IG trying to set the tempo, trying to get this dragon, and they will secure the objective.
YSKM, the rookie stud of Spring Split, getting shut out by Invincible in this game. Invincible's kind of been up and down from LPL to LDL for a little bit now. Kind of one of these mainstay people in the V5 now NIP organization, but this was so weird. Angel going in, I think, makes sense, but you aren't tanky. You know they're all around the area. I think you have to ult yourself if you want to start a fight there, 100%. As we're going to see here how this starts off. Invincible
this is just mano a mano. Two top laners doing their thing.
And we said, right, the key thing for Night Relay in this matchup is being able to connect with that
rocket belt.
But yeah, uses the rocket belt to be able to dodge out. Doesn't get brought down. And huge for him is now, look, sitting on the components of a Void Stab, very close to finish that one off. His YSKM has finally picked up his Blade of the Rune King.
Yay! Shoutouts to the Ninjas in Pajama flag fan out there, by the way. Huge props. We also got huge props for On here, because he just completed his Gale Force. That's a 2-item spike for IG. While you really want that third, I'm wondering how they try to utilize this, as they're playing forward with a lot of vision down towards the bottom side right now.
I do got to say, I feel like NIP not winning fights is somewhat egregious when you look at those item advantages. Right now, Invincible being on 2, when Cryin still hasn't even finished up his Everfrost just yet, right? But
he just finished.
Well, there we go. Just finishes it now, but On, at least again, is kind of being that point of power for them, but he might go down soon.
They're going to look for mid lane as this charge comes through. Could be another tower for NIP. A fourth of the game goes down as Photic gets excited to run away. And you do wonder what the map state means right now, because you got a bit of a weird situation for NIP. It looks like they're just going to take some backs off here. Maybe a second item does come through for Shadow, but you're really trying to get Photic online to kind of contest against On in these later team fights.
We're also at a very interesting point in the game where you look at it and you're like, okay, NIP are ahead. NIP have been the ones in control of the map, at least, right? Even if IG did take that last fight towards Dragon. But NIP are so far away from being able to play for like Soul Point as a win condition, it kind of forces them to either just keep doing what they've been doing, which is kind of playing off of the tempo they're generating inside to move first and collect picks, or they're going to have to default to the LPL standard of using the Baron to force a team fight and then ending off that. You know, theoretically, you could just try and play for Dragon Soul still since you have a Jinx, but my God, Mazel, we would be in for a long one if that happens.
We definitely would. The thing I want, at least for, I thought NIP, was to find catch-outs, but it's about catching out on the side lane for IG now. And Angel TP straight to his death. There ain't no saving him today. That's going to be 2 kills given over to IG and specifically given over to YSKM.
Exactly what they needed. I'm a bit surprised that NIP fell for that when no one from the side of IG was showing in mid. You know the Ahri's pushing top. You have some wards in their top side jungle. Like, there really isn't much else where IG could be. But hey, IG find the picks. And now, you know, we're getting closer to them being back in, like, gold neutral. Only 1K down. That's
crazy. Been able to claw back a little bit here, but we'll actually get a replay of how it all went down in this 1v4. I guess it turned out to be a 1v3.
Yeah, gets stunned up to start out with, which pretty much is all she wrote.
Oh, that hook. Oh.
Great coming out from Wink. And now the other members of NIP know they just got to get the hell out of Dodge, because Angel is going to go down. Dragon in 1 minute. So we are going to get to another point where NIP now, I mean, NIP can't give away this streak, right? They got to start actually fighting for these. It's going to come down to Invincible, and if he can find a good flank, look at the wards towards that bot side. He would have, like, good positions to look for that. But will IG even play for it, right? Because IG now, we can see, actually being a team posturing more around top, looking for top side control rather than bot.
Would they do it? Would they do a Baron on spawn? Probably not. Tianzhen going in onto Zhuo, but he'll pop that great interest. No, actually not going to connect it. He did get
Invincible?
Everything else on top of that was with the quickness. Invincible with a big lockdown on the back. This is it. That's the combo! And Delivery Express has been paid for. The stamp is on your face. And Ninjas in Pajamas, they're rolling away with this game straight to the Baron.
We got the flank we wanted, and now NIP, they've said screw Dragons this game. They've needed the Baron. They can now pick it up right on spawn and keep pushing to try to snowball this game into a 2-0.
What a decisive moment. That's what I was looking for at the beginning. We were saying kind of the decisiveness playing from game 1 to game 2. They pick the same style comp. If you get one pick, it snowballs. You got the exciting fashion of Photic, you got the thralls from Angel, and when they play together, it becomes so lethal. But Invincible was the hammer that came down on the head of IG right there, and they just are ping-ponging. They go straight to objective, fight, objective, and now they're rolling away, as I said, with this game, 4,000 gold in the lead.
Yeah, no slicing Maelstrom now. A lot of ults down for the side of NIP. This is why IG want to try and find a fight here, force them out.
And they try to steal this one away at least, maybe try to get it down enough. No, it's actually going to be Wink that secures it.
I gotta say, if this does turn into a 2-0, we might have quite a long break before the next game. We're in 3 different arenas today, so you know, things are gonna go on at like their scheduled times. So we'll see if IG maybe can bring this one back. They are sitting on soul point, so not
They're
down
going
and out just yet.
straight in onto On, though. He has the flash still available. They're going to TP in, but the immediate frozen tomb, they just can't get to On. He's going to Moonlight Vigil right back. So much damage down onto IG's front line, though, and nobody has touched Photic, who's getting all excited back there, and he's shooting them rockets just like Jinx from Arcane, baby! A double kill for the NIP bot laner, and again IG busts their face on the wall of NIP.
Even without starting the fight, no core members, right? Kennen isn't there. You're waiting for Angel to TP in. NIP still managed to come out ahead just based off of the lead that they've been able to find. So now with Invincible here, now with Slicing Maelstrom being up, IG trying to angle for a pick, but NIP might still even just be able to fight this.
I actually get a little bit locked up. There's a Slicing Maelstrom right back just to lock them down, and
I did nothing.
We'll pick up the kill.
I guess lucky for them that On was still right there, and doesn't matter how far ahead Invincible's gotten in terms of damage for the top side, he still will get shredded by that 2.5.
That's a third item, though, you know? Quick back.
That's true. You know, always finding the positive. As we're going to see here, right?
Man.
Look at the minimap, though. Kennen not around. You're still waiting for your Lissandra to TP in. Even Photic and Zhuo having to close a bit of distance to catch up to Shadow. And I thought things were going to go a little bit sideways. Ult coming out early. But the second the reset's able to come out, it doesn't matter. We see now Photic just able to run them down. Invincible finally gets here with the rocket belt to get another one.
That was insane, and Photic's positioning there was actually gigantic, and he was so far behind an item differential against On too, but he's making it work, and we're seeing this Jinx come out on top. Again, we were talking about earlier, we want to see the Jinx more often, but now we got to look at Wink trying to escape. Where did you come from? Where did you go? I don't know where to go from here for IG's Wink, because he's going to die. It doesn't rhyme, but it works, and they might even be able to give the kill over to Photic.
Now, my question, though, is when are teams going to start picking it, you know, instead of the Aphelios? I guess there's other, like, marksmen you have to be concerned about if you do just, you know, end up picking the Jinx, but still, I feel like teams need to just start being aware of, hey, this side of this trade always wins. And I mean always. Feels like the Jinx side always wins.
Still waiting on that third item spike, but they are continuously looking for these catch-outs. They will actually lock down Cryin. Look how much CC comes down. And Zhuo was just there a second earlier. There's a big play to be had. And IG just backs against the wall at this point. Shadow's looking for a vault breaker of the wall into the cease and desist. You got Invincible in mid lane, ready to go with the Slicing Maelstrom. All the tools available. And if NIP don't get caught and they find a good fight, that's it.
Trying to have YSKM farm up on the side lanes, knowing they really can't do much to dissuade this push coming out from NIP. But I like it. NIP not going to be too greedy. They're going to take what they can get back off in the end. Keep making sure that they have enough gold to look for the fights.
I thought Invincible was... He has Flash coming up. I was like, nah, there's no way. He's just going to push this one out, though. A reset had come through for majority members of NIP. We also get that heavy third item spike for both Photic and On.
This is really key as well, having the rapid fire now picked up for Photic, so going to have even more range to be able to play with. So we're On just trying to, you know, have a bit of survivability, but also now with the way Bloodthirster works, getting that more damage if you can stay healthy. The problem is that we've seen it's been a little bit hard for him to stay healthy when NIP are throwing everything at him. Shadow as well. Once again, having that ult online, so you know who the main target is going to be.
You just have so many things to cleanse, so many things to dodge out of. And if Elias doesn't have the movement speed for that, all you got is a Gale Force and a Flash, and you ain't got one of those things right now. So definitely want to see some reservation come through for IG in the next few moments until that Flash, until that safety play comes up. He does have the cleanse, but I think you definitely want to make sure you've got every tool available when you're going to be taking fights from here on out, or the snowball is just going to come at you.
Now the question is if IG try to contend with this. Because if you're IG, you could honestly just give this dragon up, keep farming, wait out the next one. Like, wait for an IP to try and force Baron or something like that, because they shouldn't be able to just end off of a Drake.
Shadow not spotted out on the flank. They're actually going to find the engage here as well onto Tianzhen. He's going straight on. He goes golden, though. That's huge, but that slicing maelstrom did so much work. YSKM's going to start popping off, though. YSKM on the backside here. He goes golden. You still got On, who hit that third item spike as well. Wink goes down to Angel. The Thrall not going to do anything. It's still a bit of an even stalemate coming through so far, but a bit of a bonus, at least for NIP. Oh my God,
I will say the fact that the enemy AD went down, IG can still look to contend.
Invincible is still so strong, and Angel is still so strong. Shadow's going to go around the corner here to try to get Cryin. They think he's on the dragon, but Shadow's looking over the side on. That 3 items is so big in this moment. It's so scary to step forward against them, but here comes Zhuo. The claws are going to come across for IG. No, they will back off. They realize something's going on. First dragon for NIP comes up.
In the end, I like that IG realized they need to back off. They knew if a fight did happen to break out, they have more just straight up DPS, and that's no way. Are we doing this?
We doing this.
We're doing this.
Let's go. All right, I know I took your burger order last time, but what do you like? You like cheese, you like lettuce, you got like onions. We got all the toppings here in the LPL, but it's not going to be the Baron start. It's going to be the fight taken as the charm connects on a Shadow. There's that Everfrost as well. The dredge line doesn't hit, though, crucially, and the slicing maelstrom again. My goodness, every time. Angel still trying to get the resets, though, and here comes NIP surging as Angel doesn't fall. Those Zanyas across the solo lanes are coming up so clutch, and YSKM is trying to make something out of nothing. Will end up falling. It's 2 members from IG, 3 members rather, down. Nobody from NIP, which signals the big purple worm.
They still just cannot manage to find a way to kill On. It didn't end up being enough to turn the fight in IG's favor, but still quite impressive, and that could turn into a problem if, again, it happens again. Photic goes down like last time, but this Baron definitely going to help them out in terms of maintaining pressure and hopefully being able to start breaking down some of these Nexus turrets.
On getting a little bit of a trade back, does so much damage to those turrets, but now we got to look back at that fight. IG trying to bait the trigger pull, but NIP stands strong in their face.
And we see Invincible trying to get onto On, doesn't manage to do so. Still does find the kill onto Wink, but you know, you need to be taking On down. The opposite side of the fight, though, is where sadly our observer didn't really even show us much in this replay, but with 1 member already going down on that side of the fight, Photic barely getting out of there. The Gale Force of his own.
That's so huge. Dude, Photic is just a monster this series. At least this game. It's been incredible, man. The mechanics are off the charts.
Doing a nice job there. Now more items coming out on both sides. Black Cleaver just finished up for Tianzhen. It doesn't really feel like that should be like the hugest power spike at this point in time, but YSKM finally in the game. 3 items. GA being built means now he can play, you know, that aggressive style and have a little bit less worries under his belt.
They got some worries, though. There's a lot of Baron minions that are saying hello, and that's not a hello that you like to hear. 1:40 left on the Baron buff, and the tower is waning here on the bottom side. That will fall. That signals that IP. They want to find another catch-up. They will get that in him.
And IP are being so tempered, right? We haven't seen them at all like try to regress for picks in the enemy base or overstay. It's, hey, we get whatever objective we're playing for now, back off, move to the next wave. So at least showing coming into the season with some of these new, new members, things are starting off well.
That's where I want to go back to the decisiveness that we've seen from this series from NIP so far be so well, and it's just because the compositions that they're piloting look so good when you are decisive. And I think you're leaning on a lot of strengths here for NIP to start off the split that maybe weren't as super prevalent in their previous splits, but something they can definitely learn to play around here.
And I like it. I think it's a good core to play around, right? Angel and Shadow kind of being your big ones, is then set up for Photic to be that carry. They're going to try and use this wave. They don't have like a whole lot of siege power here. Wink.
Oh, so close. You heard all of them pop everything. Now we got that Frozen Tomb in. YSKM gets shut down from the Slicing Maelstrom. That'll be the GA popped here. It's already Tianzhen down. More will fall soon after. On, you're against the world here. He wants something back, but he gets nothing in return. Everything's gone to hell, and a handbasket for IG. You just got to write the delivery address, and it's going to be their Nexus.
NIP looking so good in this second series. Great performances from Angel, from Photic, from Shadow, and Invincible taking down YSKM.
Huge, man. Huge, huge, huge. Invincible making a splash of his own. NIP riding the ship in week number 1, bringing themselves to 1-1 to start off their first 2 series. That is the kind of comeback you want to see, and especially in dominant fashion, right? They got strangleholded against EDG, and this was a different team. This was a team that learned from their mistakes and found a style that worked for them.
Yeah, and again, I just want to give more kudos to Invincible, because Invincible has been one of these guys since 2021, you know, would like be an LDL on V5's LDL team, get pulled up to the LPL for a few games, get sent back down to LDL, and kind of this back and forth. And he always looked like what you'd expect, right? Someone who was on top of the LDL, but couldn't quite really find his footing in the LPL. But this was a game where you finally got to see